I managed to double the business of my client twice in 3 months. So he started to work with me at around 50 to 60K revenue per month. And he actually hit his first $100,000 a month after he joined. And now 3 months later, he actually hit his first $200,000 month. And the craziest part about it is that we doubled the business even though he just got a child. All right, so for the last 4 weeks or so, he has other shit to do. However, we managed to do things properly and focus on the perfect and right things. I think this is gonna be one of the videos which is actually gonna inspire a lot of people to do things properly, because it just shows that there's no excuses at all to go hard with dropshipping. But anyways, let's get started.
But yeah, let's start with maybe talking about generally what happened to you over the last few months, because we did the interview like how long ago? Like a month or two ago. I mean, yeah, you can tell everybody what changed since then.
So I started our cooperation not that long ago, maybe 3 months ago. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I was doing 50, 60K a month, and I was searching for a coach who can help me to go to a higher level, to a next level. And pretty fast, we went to 100K with some minor changes. So we actually reached that pretty fast. It was a short-term goal. And then, my next goal was 150K. And this also happened pretty fast. And now I'm at 200K a month. So the progress is, well, I'm happy with the progress. I can tell that. And I think the way I'm thinking about my business has changed. Also, the way to spend money in Facebook also changed, and and how to use my time. This I think this for me this is what I was searching for in the program, and this is also what I found: how to think about my business and how to where to spend my money.
Yes, amazing. Maybe you can quickly share your screen, show me how everything went so far.
Yes. So this is basically the proof of the 200K in 1 month. Maybe I can also show what I did this year so far, because I think it's a good example of consistency.
Nice. So and you obviously can see the gradual growth.
Yes.
In terms of when did we get started? Like around 3 months ago, somewhere in between.
I think it's
or maybe somewhere. I think like end of May, or like middle of May and the beginning.
Something
of March.
like that.
Yeah. And basically since then you can see that we basically almost doubled monthly, which is amazing. You can actually talk about also how this whole thing, like why from the 100K to the 200K, how that actually happened so quick. Because I think you told me that like a week ago or so, why this actually happened, which main advice it was, because I think that
and it's actually a very simple advice. I told you, like, I don't have enough time to run all my ads and because I have so many products running. I'm looking at all the campaigns. It's so time consuming. So sometimes I don't find enough time to do it. And you told me, just spend more with the products that are running well, like spend more for the winners. And when you have time, do the other ones. And that's just basically what I did. I just spend it more with winning products. And this, my revenue doubled.
It sounds very simple, but it's actually a very big change in thinking, because what you were doing before that was you already had things running. And like, first of all, why the whole business for you is running that consistently, and every month it consistently was either going better, but definitely not lower, is basically because you were constantly testing a lot of new products. And at some point at like around 100K, you were telling me, all right, I have my good product, but I just have so much going on because I'm testing constantly so much more. I don't really have time for anything. And this is why I cannot grow. And then I saw that the good thing you actually did for the consistency became a little bit too much. And you're actually putting in too much time into testing new products, while your main products are still the cash cows, which your main energy and focus should go to. And then yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I told you. Like literally just like spend more time on the main product, and you do have time. You have a lot of time. And instead of like, how many products have you been like testing every day or every like week?
I think it's now around 5 a day, 3 to 5 a day. Yeah, it's more going to 5 now, but yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So a lot of products constantly.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to actually get distracted by that and start just losing the focus of the main product. But the 200K, like from how many products do they consist?
That's a good question. I have like maybe 30 products that are running at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an estimation.
But do you have like a couple main ones which made the most amount of money?
Yeah, I think that's around 8 products.
Yeah. And this number might seem pretty high to a lot of people. However, again, we need to emphasize that this strategy is a Europe strategy, and it gets a little bit different. So because we're doing everything in Europe, the products tend to be harder to scale individually, super high, super fast, and it's more on the mass. So like regarding US, it would be like 8 products in one store is like almost unthinkable. It's way too much. But in like outside of US, like in Europe, it's actually decent.
Yeah, what I'm an experience at this moment, it's better to have like multiple products running and don't scale them too high. Of course, we need to put more money in, but do not scale each product too high in Europe, and then have multiple products running, and that goes better, because when I try to scale too high, it messes up my results actually. So it's better here to have like multiple products, and that is what working for me, and I also hear it from other people.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think, I don't know if it was the same thing in the last interview or not, but did you quit the job which you had before or after that?
Yes, I quit my job. Yeah, I was a police officer before, in a management function, and yeah, I quit it.
so how is that now? Like maybe talk about the experience, like fully being not like fully doing dropshipping or e-com in general.
I love it. I feel like a fish in the water, because I can do what I want. I can make my own schedule. But what I can say is I'm actually working even more than before. So I'm working very hard and still looking for more balance. Also trying to outsource things. But yeah, I love it. Because I don't have to work at nights anymore. I don't have to work at weekends or important family moments. I'm always there now. Even the work has still to be done, and I plan everything around it, and I can still,
yeah. And what would you say, like how much time of your day do you spend on which things in the business?
Something that I'm changing now, because I was spending like a lot of time for product research and running my ads. And you told me to outsource product research, and that's what I'm doing now. Yeah. So I think this will take maybe like 1.5 to 2 hours a day away from me now. That was an important thing. Also reviewing products, which I'm also trying to outsource that to a proofreader and quality assurance person. But that is taking a lot of time, and also my media buying. Yeah.
And it's very interesting, because this is not like, a lot of people do not expect that you need to do all those things at 200K per month, because you're saying you already have like a bunch of products which are running great, and you still do product research. And most people think that after you start having winners, you do not really need that. You basically already made it, and that's it. And this is exactly where the consistency comes from, because it's true that right now you actually do not need product research. However, if you do not do it for a month or two, at some point it's going to die. And right now, nothing is going to change in the next 3-4 weeks, literally nothing, if you do not do product research. So but the delayed impact will be there, 100%.
Yeah, that's true, because Yeah, I'm actually had my best month while I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
My wife, yeah, just got a baby like a few weeks ago, and so I have a son now, and I actually had my best month while having a baby at home. So,
Exactly.
so no excuses. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still testing products every day. And what I can see now, sometimes I'm a bit tired and like very busy because I have a baby at home and running a business. But I was like at 7-8K days consistently. And now I just tested a bit less. I was a little bit behind in work, and I see it now it's going to 5-6K. So when I don't push the extra effort now, it will decline.
Correct.
So
correct.
Yeah.
And like I talk about this a lot, but it's so important to emphasize the delayed impact. You do things right now, nothing changes. You do things right now, in a month it will change, but you don't notice it right now, and then you stop doing it because you think nothing changes, and then you like in a month nothing changes then, you know. So it's very important to actually understand that and just think long term and do not expect results on day one, but actually expect results in the long term. And that's exactly what we see with you. But yeah, maybe also to talk about the other sides of the business. How, like, what's the main reason why, for example, Facebook for you is very consistent?
Maybe I was very conscious how I started with my new profile or new setup. So I also had some blocks in a row and was really frustrating. And then I started with the profile of my father, create a new business manager, new page, my father's profile, but I warmed everything up very well. So the page, the profile, the warming up process, I did it very well. And I think now that made a big difference. So I created a lot of engagement from the start to my page and the profile. And then, yeah, I had a good engagement on my first products on this page as well. And then I bought feedback constantly. I always buy feedback. So yeah, and it's running pretty consistent. Also, I'm very careful with what I am publishing, with kind of ads that I'm launching. I'm not selling black hat products. I'm not doing weight loss products. So I think that this part is important.
100%. Also, like in the product research, the Facebook blocks sometimes even happen. Like you do product research and you select products which are not that Facebook friendly, and you're like, okay, all the other criteria are good, and then you get blocked. And the problem is that the real problem was in product research and not even later. So it's also very important, like what specific things you pick.
And also, I think for other things that, like PayPal, for instance, I had a product, it was a sandal, and it was actually selling really well. But after a few weeks, I get some reviews, feedback of my customers, and they say it's a very bad product. And when you see that feedback a few times, and they start opening PayPal cases, I'm like, this is not worth the money. I want consistency. I need to think long term. Let's skip this product, although it's one of my winners right now.
Yeah. And in dropshipping, it's very interesting how consistency kind of goes hand in hand with morality. Like as long as you do things which are good for the clients and for the customers, you will be always more consistent. And even if you do not give a fuck about anybody else, it's still better to actually be morally correct just for your own sake. Like just for yourself, even if you do not think about anything else, it's still better to actually do it because it's just long term is going to be better for your business.
So this way of thinking, I can show you. I have 23,500 orders on this store, and I have 24 PayPal cases.
There you go. It's nothing.
It's
like,
nothing.
Literally nothing.
No.
Yeah.
So and this says something. So
yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, maybe also, what would you say is the like kind of the next goals for you, and also what's the main challenges you're facing right now?
The main challenge I'm facing right now is that Yeah, I'm still busy with deleting the black boxes. We also
Mm-hmm.
told this in our last interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want more of a stable business. I want multiple shops, maybe multiple platforms, and I also want to outsource more. So what I'm doing right now is team building and building processes, so everything can run automatically without me.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said before, I'm still spending a lot of time with media buying and reviewing. So yeah, I'm that's the bottleneck right now to grow. So this needs to be outsourced as well at some point. Yeah, and I need to think very well who to work with. And
Yes. This is the place where you can do like a lot of mistakes, and I've done them in the past. And it's basically where you try to rush everything and think, okay, right now I don't have enough time for product research, or like I do product research, but it's costing me so much time. I just want to get rid of it as soon as possible. And then you start outsourcing it, and you find a person who's okay, and you start working with him, and you think that you're saving time right now because you pick him instead of keep searching. When in reality, you lose 20 times more time if you actually hire a person who's not really good, because you need to teach him. And as long as you're teaching him, you already are losing a lot of time. Like to do a wrong hire is actually like extremely time consuming, because every single new person you hire, you need to understand that it takes like more time in the first month than it gives you. So the hiring is not a thing where in the first month you're going to instantly free up time and that's good. It's more that you lose time in the first month to actually free up more time later on.
That's true. I'm experiencing that right now. I found a guy who can help me with product research. He has a whole team, and also some people of his team do product research. And we actually are building a whole process in Notion. And every week we do like 2 or 3 calls to give feedback. Yeah. So I'm doing I'm giving feedback on the products that they found. And every time we update the process, we make some standard rules. Like this product, you cannot upload it in Notion again because it has this feature and we don't want it, or it has so many ads active, we don't want it, or the scroll stopper is not good, and all that stuff. So we're building a whole process. So normally within 2 weeks from now, I should not have too many problems with it anymore. Then I only need to select 3 or 5 products out of 10 search products.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very good that we actually started to like micromanage and see really where your bottlenecks kind of are. And also it's very important that you didn't outsource everything at the same time, because this is also something
it's too difficult.
Yes, I saw a lot of people who have this like idea in their head that they now deserve to kind of make a break and outsource everything. And they're like, okay, I don't need to do media buying anymore. I don't need to do product research. Don't need to build the stores. I don't need to make the ads. Basically, all of this somebody else is going to do, and then my VAs are also going to do like the email support and all everything. So I don't have anything, and this is not how it works. This is just a false expectation. And I also had this where I was in search for an agency who's going to run my ads and do everything for me in the beginning. And at some point, I just realized I'm losing money. It's not worth it right now. That doesn't make sense. So I mean, it's just important to go step by step in terms of hiring.
I think you cannot expect a new VA to do everything as you like. I think when you do that, it will be chaos and things will decline. You cannot expect it, that they just know how you think and what you expect. And I think it's very important to train one person at a time.
Correct.
Because it takes a lot of effort. And you have to review it, and still while you're doing that, other things are going on in your business and are still running and need to be done. So you can't do it all at once. It's possible.
And here again, I have to really emphasize that you're doing an extremely great job with keeping up with the work, even though everything is running, because I do not see this as normal. Like I've worked with a lot of people, and I've seen this so often that people just do not keep testing. If you see success, most people just stop and think that's it. And right now, this is so important that you keep doing this, because that's the reason why the only reason why everything is consistent and growing is this. And people think, all right, I'm gonna do things just to maintain everything, and I'm just gonna stay on my 10K profit per month, and I'm happy with it. I don't even need one. Okay, but it's tough. It's very hard to actually stay on one level without growth, or you need to make a lot of things to stay. And you have to actually grow to stay on one level, because it's not going to just stay automatically.
Yeah, I saw it in your last video that you posted on YouTube. It's very interesting for me too. And the way I'm looking at it, I just want to grow, because I know staying still will mean decline.
Yes.
I don't believe that being at the same level is possible, because then you start to chill and everything will go down. The only thing my eyes are looking forward, and I want to grow. For me, this is still nothing.
Yes.
In my head, this is nothing. What I'm showing you now.
So what's your long-term goal?
It's difficult to put a number on it, but I just want to, become better every day. I just want to grow, and my goal is I want this dropship business as a cash flow business. I want to automate it as much as I can, and eventually, when I have enough cash reserves, I want to start building a brand, and then build the brand slowly. I know it's another kind of business, needs more time. That's why I think I still need a cash flow business like dropshipping, and then hopefully in the future I can sell that brand for a lot of money. That's how I have it in my head right now.
So wait, are you saying right now you're making 200K a month without a brand?
Yes.
So wait, does it mean that you do not need a brand to actually make 6 figures a month?
Not at all. I think dropshipping is actually easier to get this kind of money than selling brands.
Yes, 100%. And this is what I'm constantly saying, over and over and over again. And people just have a very hard time with it, because I constantly new people ask me, can I start making a brand? Okay, I understand what you're saying here, but still, I really wanted to start with a brand. And people don't understand what it takes, because you need to have a really good understanding of dropshipping and had already tons of winners to actually make a brand out of the top product, because this is the way to go. You have at least 5 to 10 winners, which is not even high, 5 to 10 winners minimum. One out of those is going to be extremely good. You see that the feedback on that product is the best. Everybody loves it. And it has criteria, which extra criteria, because for me to test a product, I do not need a product which is going to run for the next 5 years. I don't care. It's okay if it's just going to run for 6 months, that's fine. However, if sometimes you just find those products which are constantly running for years and years to come, and you basically understand this is not going to die down, and then it starts to actually make sense to make a real brand out of it and make everything perfect. And it's basically you tying yourself to that product. So if you start branding, you 100% tie yourself to that product, and you also then instantly have to make sure that you 100% will sell products, because it's just not worth it to start branding if you're not sure if it's going to be super long term and people are going to be very happy.
I think of all my winners, for me, I think I have a lot of winners in the last year, but not any winner of them I want to make a brand of. Yeah, so it's not easy to find something that you want to brand. I have a custom product in my mind. This is again different, because I cannot even test it with dropshipping. So it's more of a risk if I would spend time and money on it. I think it's always better to test it with dropshipping. And for now, I didn't find a product yet that I would like to brand. Maybe I have some products that I can brand, but I think the quality should be better than it is right now for these products. And then it's again more a custom product.
Yeah. And it's very important to again understand that there are different approaches to this, because what you're doing is you're just doing this really strong mass test approach where every day it's constantly new products to test, but a bunch of winners, a bunch of not winning products, a bunch of products which are okay. And we also have a lot of students who are doing very well with not even closely that approach. We very pinpointed one product every few weeks max we test, very, very like kind of lazy approach of testing. But in reality, it's also a way of making sure that everything is perfect, and we just go one by one by one. And there's no wrong and right. It's just two different approaches, which we both do. And it just depends on which market you're on and like how much time you have and like all of the, like other
I
factors.
think at the beginning, I was testing a lot less, like 3 to 4 products a day. And then
That's
I
not,
also,
yeah. For people,
a day,
this is
not a day,
low.
3 to 4 products a week.
Yeah,
And
even
then
that
I
is
was,
not low. That's a lot for most people, but yeah.
Yeah, and I was like 50, 60K at that moment. When I was doing everything myself. And I think for me, the mass testing and having a team makes it possible to do higher numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also believe in the other approach, but maybe that's more, I don't know if you can say it's maybe more for the US market to tweak everything.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And I mean, you also said you have some questions in general about your business currently.
Yeah. So yeah, would you work with people that you know? So I'm having a guy who is a friend of me, started dropshipping with me.
Yeah.
And he experienced some problems, but he actually is asking to work with me now or working for me. He's a bit younger. I like him, but he's like, I will offer you, I will work for a 50-50 percentage.
50-50 percentage of what?
Of the revenue, of the profits.
Of what profit? Of the what do you mean?
Of one store, a new store. He wants to start a new store together. And, but he says he will do the work and he will run by my processes.
No, I wouldn't do that. I definitely wouldn't do a 50-50 deal with a beginner. Because
he's not really a beginner, but yeah.
How much is he making?
Currently he's a bit stuck, but he has also been over 100K a month. Although I think he has done more simple stuff, and I think my knowledge is better than him.
But did he have a bunch of winning products, or was it like one winner?
He had multiple products, but he had one big winner, one really big winner. I think it was that month. Let's say I'm a bit more advanced in strategies than him, and I have more processes. And he is more like, let's just do this, let's just do that. He is an action taker, but he thinks a little bit more simple about it than me. Understand.
So obviously it's a very difficult question, and like I would need way more context for that. But in general, you need to understand that in some ways, I actually do like working with people I know. So a lot of people don't, and I understand that because it just has like a lot of problems where if somebody works for you versus with you, it's a big difference. Because if he's working for you for a salary, that means that you have to kind of in some moments be boss, and you have to tell him to do things and not let him know that like he should, like it's sometimes you need to do this, that's it. And it's sometimes uncomfortable to do that with like good friends if you're very close and there's like a different relationship going on than that. But with you're asking more for a partnership, right? It's not
the way he let it sound is like a partnership where I don't need to do so much except like saying this is the process and you should follow this. But I was actually thinking, how can I put some form in this cooperation? Because I'm a little bit cautious about it. I just don't want to start like, okay, let's do this. If I do this, I want to like really overthink it and how it should be done. Because the thing I'm making a second store, but I'm still thinking at the same time, how can I manage it? So that's why it's maybe interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able, like, if you just think about this from a business perspective, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to find people who are actually going to be able to execute everything and already do dropshipping and understand the whole thing for way less than 50%. And if you have people, who are open for stuff like that, it's better like in the realm of like around 25 to 30%. I would actually maybe go for it. As long as they say, okay, this is my full-time thing. I'm not doing anything else. This is my 100% priority. I only do this. You just tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it. And I already have experience. Maybe, yeah, okay. But it's also very important to understand that you need to trust that person, because this is built because basically what you're doing is you're kind of coaching him for free. So you coach him for pure profits. He doesn't need to pay you up front, which is already problematic in terms of coaching, because then they listen less. And like if I would do my program generally on percentage base with everybody from the get-go, they would listen to me less than they do now, because they already paid for that advice and they take it after that. So yeah, I probably wouldn't do 50-50, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was not the right amount either.
Yeah,
I thought the same. I've actually 3 people asking to work with me right now. Two from Dutch community and also one from another community.
But do you know them personally, or is it just like people you know?
One guy, like the guy I talked about, I know him from the start, since I started dropshipping. Another guy, I also know him just from WhatsApp. We texted each other. We didn't see each other live, but we texted sometimes. And then just another guy, he heard me talking in some AMAs, and he's just asking me if he can work for me. It's from,
yeah. So what I would tell you here is outsource everything first, and then do everything from a place where you're not in this like time scarcity mindset. Because right now you have not a lot of time, and you want to open a new store, and then you're like, fuck, how can I manage this? I'm not going to be able to have time. First, get the people to work for you, not those people, just like regular employees right now for the main store. And then think of a new partnership, because then you're actually going to have a clear head and clear understanding of how much time everything takes for you, and if it's going to be manageable. Because in a lot of the cases, partnerships are way more expensive than employees. You need to understand that. At some point, if you have a lot of good employees, they can also do everything for you, just for a salary and not for a percentage. That's way, way, way cheaper. Okay. So you need to understand that if you have a person who's going to do product research, then slowly a store creator and an ad creator, and basically you just do the Facebook management, it's a different story, because then you're actually going to be able to manage in multiple stores and you don't have any percentage you gave up. So I would first, before I would do such a big decision, actually understand how much time you have for everything. And you only have that after employing everybody, because this is right now a moment. Like you're currently in the moment of, okay, I'm hiring, I don't have a lot of employees yet. You don't understand how much time you're going to have after you actually hire. So yeah.
Yeah, and then furthermore, I have the guy that I found in India. He has a team working for him. Everything from A to Z except media buying. So I wonder, what would you do? Like outsource everything to him, because he's really great at making processes. He has experience for working for other dropshippers, but he is one guy. Although he has a whole team, I make myself a bit dependent on his team. If I outsource everything to him, or would you say like make maybe one store for his team and then my own team for another store?
Exactly. I would try that on the side for sure. There's nothing which really speaks against it, as long as you're going to suggest the product. So if you have the current people who are going to do the product research for you, and you just tell them, okay, this is the list of products, set everything up. So you just click on launch and I do the media buying. This is fine, because then again, you don't really depend. Like store and ad creators are like, that's not the main dependency you're going to have. So that's fine. As long as you still have your own stores, which you're doing by yourself, and you slowly build up a person in-house, because that's always the goal. Like you don't want agencies to run everything for you forever. You want in-house people, because that's always cheaper. So you want to have a person who you trained, who's working for you long-term. So yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I think that's about it.
So that was the main question.
Yeah, that's what were the main questions. Like if I would work with my own team, or keep building on my own team, or like invest in this one guy with his own team in India, or and then working with people that I know, because I know right now I'm in a place like my time is limited. I want to expand, but I can't do it all myself. That's why, how will I manage this? Will I do it with people that I know? And still 50% would be better than nothing, because he's doing the work. But as you say, I have to invest in him, in educating him.
Maybe the advice here is to test a little bit, again, even less products, and actually start putting in that time into getting employees. So instead of testing 5 products a day, which you currently do, you should test maybe like 2 or 3, go down again. But instead of that, actually find a person who's going to help you with everything, and then you're going to be able to go up again. Because this should be priority. The number one priority should be getting an employee, which is really good for basically most of the areas.
Yeah, and also I think, like you say, it's important to trust this person, and that we can cooperate for a long time. And the difficult thing is, like, you can find good people in communities, but for me, if they work for me, they have to give up a bit their dream of being the business owner themselves. Because as long as they have it, I will then, like, why would I invest my time in them? Because at one point when I teach them everything, you would say, okay, thanks a lot for teaching me, bye-bye. Then I have to start again. There's
a specific like personality type which is out there, which when you hire them, they seem like the perfect fit, and they're this guy who's going to tell you, bro, I'm going to move out, live on a mattress, eat like just like $2 food per day. I'm going to do everything just to work for you. I'm going to do everything you're going to tell me. Just like teach me. I'm going to do everything exactly like you said. And this might sound to a lot of people like the perfect candidate who's the most motivated and the greatest fit, but they're not, because in a lot of the cases, those are the people who are going to abandon you after they start to understand what you're doing and how you're doing. And it's not a bad thing. Like, I don't say that they're a bad person. I'm just saying that they're not a good fit for you as an employee, because a lot of those like self-help people, like I would actually say exactly self-help people, they have this idea of being like unemployed, and not unemployed, like self-employed, and actually do whatever they want, not work for a person, and have that one dream. And most of them, first of all, don't understand what it takes. And actually, in reality, if they would really understand what it takes, they would actually be rather employed, but they don't understand it. And because they don't understand it, they actually start like just working for people who already made it, in terms of like the step where they want to be. And they just take that person just as a mentor for free, and go to the next person, and go to the next person. Which, by the way, is not a bad strategy.
For them, it's not a bad strategy.
Not a bad strategy, because they actually do learn a lot. But you don't want to be the guy who's getting taken advantage of. You just don't want to. And we actually, if you want, like I can send you like a few like personality tests, which are pretty good at identifying those. And we saw like very common traits in exactly those people. So we have like a full list of people which we don't want to hire. Like, we just have like a blacklist. If we see that's a personality type, you're out.
It would be great. You can send it to me.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's also like a thing where it's not like a lot of the times where you hire a person, you need to not only think about like a temporary solution, which is what most people always do. They think temporary solution to my problems is just have a person who's going to help me with this, and that's it. And when in reality, if you have a person who you really trust, who helped you a lot, and then they just leave, you had so much effort and time in there, and in a lot of the cases they just leave unexpected, and they don't even tell you before, and then you basically lose a bunch of, like, you lose so much money and time. So
that's what I want to avoid.
Correct. The interviews need to be done very, 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 very like intolerant. So if something, the main problem which people have with this is they search for reasons why they should hire a person, and not the other way. Because when we're hiring people, I just try to get them to fuck up. I just try I really try my best to sound as if I as if I just want information, when in reality, I want them to slip up and say something bad about their last job or their last boss or their last something, and I don't hire them because I don't want anybody who's like talking shit about anything else. So like, but this is also like I've been talking about this product research method a lot with the virtual assistants, where you basically just go to Upwork and you tell them, hey, do you like, I want you to work for me. I just wanted to make sure that you're a good fit. So who did you already work for? And they tell you, and then you ask them, okay, so what's the store name? Just want to make sure that you actually work for them. They tell you, and then they tell you, okay, you ask them, okay, what's the best seller? They also tell you, or you ask them, how many orders did they get? They tell you everything. Obviously, you will not hire them, but you can actually take those products because they're great, because those who are definitely working in it, if they're currently working for them, it's the best.
Oh, it's also funny. I can add something to this. I actually had a guy from Upwork when I was searching for product research. He told me, I work for this dropshipper. I know this guy. He's famous. So I'm okay, but I know a guy who knows this guy. Let's ask how this person worked. He actually just worked for 1 week for this guy, and that was it.
yeah. So it's easy to sound. It's easy to sound great to like an unknown person. Yeah.
And then I'll also have another question, but it's not for the interview.
Okay. Then let's wrap it up here. For everybody else who's watching right now, if you actually want to join the program, click the link below, sign up for the free consultation session. We're going to find out if everything is a good fit. If yes, we're going to get started to work together. And if no, no hard feelings. So click the link below and talk to you there.